I'm reminded more and more about the importance of the work that we do here. All of us, whether it's myself, my team, or even the viewers who are growing this movement of young men who are trying to improve ourselves. I think this is incredibly, incredibly important work. In fact, the most recent man that I hired to be a part of my team said that this may be quite literally the most important work that there ever is. He brought in other issues like economic issues, societal issues, climate change, global warming, and all these kind of issues. And he said all of them are reliant on actually having a generation of men who can be strong and actually do the work and save our planet. Everything relies on men being healthy, masculine, and strong. We may be doing some of the most important work here. What I am just one man, and I do have a fantastic team to help me, but we are just 15 people. The direction that we could go with this work, with this channel, can be so much better if we almost see it like a group project, where you, the viewer, keeps me and my team accountable to our purpose, which is to help young men improve themselves. That is the overlying mission that I've always had. If you watch me for enough time, I'm quite a extreme guy in the short term. So the overlying mission I've always had is help young men improve themselves. It's quite a general statement. But then sometimes you'll see me for a couple of weeks being totally obsessive over just one area of that main mission. So the main mission is help young men improve themselves, but then one area could be social media, delete social media, and it's like the only thing I'm thinking about. And then it's like I kind of stop thinking about that. Then the only thing I'm thinking about is like muscle and diet. And then I'm like, I make like 10 videos on fitness. I've not spoken about fitness on my YouTube channel for like 6 months, and suddenly you'll see like 17 videos on the same topic of like fitness and aesthetics. And then I won't talk about fitness again for like 9 months. And then I'll start talking about like mental health, fatherlessness. Or then I'll spend 3 weeks talking about making money, materialism. So the overlying mission, the big purpose, the reason why we're doing all this, the reason why this work is important is that phrase, help young men improve themselves. And then through that, we have these pillars in which we do that, these strategies or these tactics that we fulfill that main mission, which is, let's talk about mental health for this month. Let's talk about fitness. Let's talk about social media. I wonder if you, the viewer, can have such a significant part to play in the direction of the work that we do here, where we all come together to make decisions as a team, as like a big community, where we see this channel as like a one-stop shop where a young man can come in and no matter what he's interested in, whether it's fitness, whether it's dating, making money, mental health, he can find education and inspiration here on this channel. That's what we want. We want this to be like the global hub of men. The global hub of men who want to improve themselves. You come to this channel. You come to this resource, this like valuable resource. And there's so many decisions to be made. There's so many videos to be created, movements to lead. I think I've done a fairly good job up until now for like 2 years, myself and my team. But I know that as a man of self-improvement, there's always something to improve to. So what I'm getting at is I want this to almost be like some kind of like crowd fund, but not related to donations or anything, but just like a community comes together to make decisions based on this movement as a whole group. We feel like this is our place. We come together to serve our generation, because right now we're 700,000 strong. We're still not the majority. We are like the minorities here. And we're almost like the chosen one, like the enlightened, who have this information, and we've been able, our brain has just worked in a certain way where we can take this information and really use it to improve ourselves. But then you kind of see the brains of other people and they're not there just yet. They can't really see the importance of this work of improving themselves. They can't see the importance of like a good diet or mental health because they're so just numbed out on social media and porn and video games. We're the enlightened ones. And so I think we have a duty, a responsibility, because responsibility is such a core masculine trait. We have a responsibility to the people, to the other men of our generation, that we should be here to serve them. That we should like come together and make decisions based on like the rest of our generation of men and think, okay, how can we find them? How can we serve them? How can we make this hub perfect for them, that when this random young man stumbles into this channel, he has everything he needs to be able to improve himself. This can truly, truly be a global movement. Like right now, it's a YouTube channel. Right now, you know, we're going semi-viral, we're growing, and it's fantastic. But this could quite literally be like a new way of life, of men coming together and like sharing our wisdom like our ancestors did. But this time on a global level, using the internet. And this wisdom, this knowledge can spread far and wide to like some random young man who's 15 years old in India who hates his life, gets one of these videos recommended into his YouTube page, and he's never the same after that. And then a guy in the States, 23 years old, broke, hopeless, gets a different video, a video about money, about the right mindset to wealth, and it changes his life and he starts feeling more positive. And a guy in the UK, a guy in Africa, in all these different countries, men who are down bad, who are struggling, get like a resource that not only educates and inspires them, but gives them hope to continue. You see why I take this so seriously. Sometimes, you know, I come onto the camera and I make some jokes and memes and stuff, and, you know, it's kind of nice, it's funny, it does help to sort of like, you know, push this message, make it more applicable. But you know for a fact that I take this work very seriously, because I think of the big picture, and I see, I have those deep conversations with a lot of men where we talk about mental health, and we talk about how lonely it is, or it was, the solitude that caused it. And it's not rare for me to speak to a man who is or was suicidal. It's not rare at all, it's often, and of course that's a level of like selection bias, but it's often that I will speak to a man who's had extreme mental health problems, that feels horrible about his life, that feels like he has nothing to live for. And I am 100% certain that the way out of those negative periods of life is self-improvement. I am absolutely, with total conviction, certain that millions of men will benefit to a life-changing level if they really learned about self-improvement the way that we've been doing it. We have this duty to spread the message of self-improvement to as many people as possible, to try our best to see like how we can grow this movement. Like I said to you, I'm one man with a team of about 14. We are working very hard, but like the thought of another 1,000 people, 1,000 of our boys helping us, being part of this process of making decisions and brainstorming ideas of like, how can we convince, like how could I, like you criticize me and say, wait Hamza, you could speak like this on camera and you'd probably be like 2% more persuasive. You should have a thumbnail like this, you should make a video like this. Hamza, you do this thing which maybe draws people away from the channel, you should change and you should do this. Criticize me and like help me improve and give me feedback, so that like with this grand purpose of just helping men to improve themselves, to spread this message of self-improvement. When I think about the scale that we have, the numbers that we have here, if 1,000 guys came together to really help us like brainstorm ideas and make decisions, imagine that. And YouTube has this thing, maybe you've seen, it's called community posts, where it's almost like Twitter in a sense, where it's like it's not a social media or anything, but it's like on YouTube, on your channel, you're able to Go on to like, if you go onto like, you know, you click on my page, like my YouTube channel, and then there's a tab that says community. If you go on there, then you can see like text posts from the creator, and sometimes you can see them on like your YouTube homepage as well. And that could maybe be, this was my like perception, because I posted on there recently, and I thought it was so nice that I can see hundreds of comments, and like I don't have to record like a full video speaking about something. I can just write like a quick text message of, and I just thought, wait, what if I just ask for help on decisions here next time? What if on the YouTube community post, anytime I have like a big decision that me and my team are somewhat thinking about, what if I just put the question there, and suddenly we had 1,000 comments of everyone's opinions, and we could like join together to think, okay, this is probably the best way forward, with that sole intention of like, it's not for your benefit, it's not for my benefit, it's for the benefit of our entire generation of men who need this knowledge. I don't think that's ever been done before, and I think that's so powerful. You have to understand that man is incredibly self-interested. And I want you to know this with total humility and like speaking unfiltered from me. I am incredibly self-interested. I think we all are, but I can say for certain with myself, I am totally and utterly self-interested. I will do what's best for me, and I don't want that to be the case. Because what's best for me is that I cash out heavily right now. I create a course which is $2,000, it makes 1 million, I can retire and never have to like think about this ever again. That would be like so good, you know, oh, I've retired at age 25. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. We understand that a singular person is pretty selfish, greedy, self-interested. But as a community, as a tribe, as a real fucking tribe, and if we have this like one major goal that we all kind of like look to, we can almost call each other out, and especially call me out, and make sure that we all stay on track for this one major goal, which is to help men improve themselves, to spread the message of self-improvements. This message can go viral, and I honestly think it was. Right now we're seeing the rise of like alpha males, and you know, there's a bit of talk now, like a lot more of like masculinity, men, you know, men are weak and we need to get them stronger. This message is starting to go viral, like, because people are so like it really resonates with so many people. I think the next big thing that goes viral within a couple of years, like which goes absolutely viral around the entire world, is this message of holistic self-improvements. I think this will be one of the biggest trends. Like, it already is very popular, but I think it will just grow exponentially when people realize how valuable it is to just live a life which is all about delaying gratification. I think this will go incredibly viral, valuable, if we can push it into the right direction. If my own sort of Jeffrey brain doesn't let me sabotage the entire movement through my own selfish desires and greeds and self-interest. If we make the right decisions, if we come up with the kind of video ideas that 1 million men will want to click on. Myself and my team, we discussed like a brainstorming activity together where I asked them, can we think of 5 principles for our team that we could just always follow and always refer to when we have decisions to be made? And I expect this sort of practice, you know, this activity to come together to brainstorm these 5 principles will take us a while, because we really want to be certain with them. So we did get one, which one of my video editors, Mo, suggested, which was to take some time before making rash decisions based on emotions. That's heavily aimed towards me because I'm kind of the face, you know, I'm the one on the YouTube videos, and I'm quite a emotional thinker. I think that's like the right brain thinker, is kind of like, you make decisions based on how you feel, and it's quite fickle, it's flippy floppy, it just changes all the time. That's our first core principle that we've determined. We will not make rash decisions based on emotions. I believe the second one that myself and my team, like the second principle that we can have, is we will ask the community for their view on big decisions. I want you to feel like a real part of this. I know like a lot of like YouTubers and celebrities say that, but they have no backing to even say that. It's like you're not a part of it. You just like watch the videos, you consume the content. But I want you to literally have a say in the like a vote in the direction of this channel, with the decisions that we make, the kind of videos that we make, even the person that I become. It feels weird. No, it doesn't even feel weird, but it feels like just significant to say this, but like, I don't know if it's obvious to you, but like, I am dedicating my life to this. Sometimes there's a bit of a dissonance, a bit of a split between who you see on screen as, you know, like a YouTuber or a celebrity or influencer, and who they actually are. What you see on screen is literally just who I am. For the last 2 years, I've dedicated my life to this. I speak in ways that sometimes confuses like people in my real life, where they're like, wait, what about your actual personal life? Where I tell them like, oh yeah, like this would be good for my boys, so I'll go and do that. And it's a major change in my own life. And they say like, oh no, but what about you? What about the real Hamza? And it just it confuses me, because I'm like, but that's the most important thing there is me dedicating myself totally to my purpose is the most important thing there is. Who can I be? What can I do in my own, like, I don't have a personal life anymore, bro. What can I do in my own personal life to be the absolute best person to be here on camera giving out these words of wisdom? What kind of man can I become? Because I'm not even, this isn't for clout or anything, but like, I already have been dedicating my life to this. Every decision that I make in my personal life is heavily influenced by the impact it will have on my boys. And 100%, bro, I make a lot of mistakes. I slip up a bunch of times. And that's the nature of success and development as a man. But the direction of my life, I want it to be aligned with what would be best for this movement. What would be best for that major message of ours, which is just help men improve themselves. And so it got me thinking, okay, what kind of man should I be? Should I be that kind of like arrogant, alpha male, loud, oh, you know, I'm rich? Should I be like hard and aggressive towards you, like I usually am a lot of times? What would be the most effective with our mission of helping men improve themselves? And I realized it wouldn't be either of those. I think the real answer, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you can write a comment or like, you know, let me know somehow. But I think the real answer for what would be the most effective for our mission is for me to be more of this unconditionally loving father, a man who's so encouraging. That doesn't mean I'll be a pushover or I'll be weak. I'll still have some level of like, you know, masculinity and strength. But just the way that I encourage you, the viewer, the young man who's watching this, to get onto self-improvement, to do the right things, to stop doing the bad things. The most effective way for me to do that probably isn't the way that I've been doing so far. There's always improvements to be made, and there's 100 things we could talk about like this. I wonder if we can come together with 100 things, 500 small implementations. Everything gives us like a 1% boost. You know, it's hard to quantify, but like a 1% boost to our persuasion in like helping another guy who watches these videos, and suddenly it clicks for him, and he's like, it just clicks in his brain, and he actually wants to commit himself to this. I bet there's hundreds of things that we could improve on. Small things here and there, 2% better here, 1% better here. It's going to take a great deal of humility for me to be able to do this, because I'm pretty much asking thousands of people to criticize me and to give me like feedback, which is essentially saying there's, you know, so much better that I can do. And I can't wait to do that. That excites me so heavily, thinking that I could make a post on like the YouTube community post and ask this specific, very specific question, like my hand gestures. Literally, like, do you, like, you know, and we get like 1,000 guys giving their feedback. Like, do you think, like, you know, me showing my hand would increase or decrease our persuasion in helping, like, you know, pushing forward our mission of helping young men improve themselves? Imagine every little detail of what we're doing could be optimized. Like, we come together as a big community, as a big tribe, with this just one big purpose together. The thought of that honestly excites me so much. And like I've said, I've already been dedicating my life to this. I am so totally aligned. Like, this is my purpose. You've heard me talk about purpose so many times. This is my purpose, my core mission as a man. And so when I align more of my life to the work that I do here, I feel more free. I feel happier than ever. And so I wonder, with the great thinkers amongst us, what are the changes that I can make, whether on camera or just in my own personal life, in my own development, my self-improvements, that would help our purpose here? What are the changes and improvements that my team could make, that us as a community could make? The direction that we're going into, the goals that we have, me specifically, my self-improvement, my mindset, my beliefs. That one big mission is what we'll all just keep in mind. Help young men improve themselves. Spread the message of self-improvement as far as we can. How can we achieve that? It sounds like a truly beautiful thing to just come together with hundreds, thousands of young men. All of us just put our minds together to just brainstorm, and it's just like what we're doing for the rest of our generation. Like, they don't even know. You know, we're those weird guys who meditate, who like don't want to go out and drink anymore. We're those weird guys who like exercise every single day. And here we're sat here literally just asking ourselves, okay, how can we help the other guys as best as we can? How can we get as many guys as possible to become healthy? And those like guys who aren't on self-improvement, they don't even realize that we're sat here literally trying to help them. You know, I said once about 1.5 years ago, if you're like an OG of my channel, you might have seen this video, where I said the purpose of this entire thing that you see of why I'm doing all this is because at a point of self-improvement, it kind of feels like your cup is full. It kind of feels like you're doing really well in life. And then your cup starts overflowing. You have like this feeling of abundance with your energy, your time, your generosity. And so when your cup is full and flowing to the brim, or even flowing past that, you may as well start just filling up the cup of other people who are struggling to do it by themselves. Why do we do that? Because we are all inherently self-interested. You know, as an individual, I'm self-interested, so why would I care about you? Well, when I help you to fill up your cup, suddenly here's another man who's on self-improvements. Here's another man that I have so much in common with, who exercises every day, who meditates, who reads the same books as me, who has a very similar mindset of like success and growth and progress as me, so we could become friends. Here's another man who's strong, masculine, and trustworthy, who's respectful, and I want men like that to grow. I want men like that around me. Here's another man who has the right values that will make him a great father. And so both of us will have children at one day. And I want my children to be surrounded with a bunch of other children whose fathers were on self-improvements. You see, this might be the single most important mission there is right now. Help young men improve themselves and spread the message of self-improvement as far as we can. And I hope you'll join me to try and make that mission a reality. Click on this video to learn more right now. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah!